everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Sunday meal prep. I'm glad to be back in the kitchen this week after not prepping last week because of Easter. So on my meal plan this week for breakfast, I'm doing ham and cheese egg cups. This is a recipe I found off of emilybites.com. And then for lunch, I am doing a Sloppy Joe casserole, which that recipe is on my website, planningus.healthy.com. And if you are new to my channel, I currently follow the WW Blue program, but I give the points for all 3 programs. And on my website, I will give you the nutritional facts, like the calories, fat, fiber, all that stuff in case you need that. But you don't really need to be on any type of weight loss program to follow my meal preps. My meal preps are basically just to show you how to prep for the week. I basically prep breakfast, lunch, and dinner for my husband and I for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I just do 3 days, and that way it leaves room for a little bit of wiggle room through the week. And plus, I don't like to prep that far out past Wednesday. For dinners, I'm not really prepping them. I'm not preparing them. I'm actually just making dinner kits. I'm basically just weighing out and measuring all the ingredients, putting them in a bag, and that way I have the kit ready for the week. I pull it out of the fridge and I'm ready to go. So I'm not really trying to show you those for the recipe necessarily, but just how I actually put my kits together. So if you want to see how I meal prep breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks for my husband and I for the week, then stay with me. If you're new to my channel, my name is Christy and I'm Planning Us Healthy. Okay, so we're going to get started with breakfast. So as I said, breakfast is ham and cheese egg cups, and these are from Emily Bites. So what you need for this recipe is 6 large eggs and then 2 egg whites. You need 1/4 cup of skim milk. You will need 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 1/8 teaspoon of pepper. 1/2 cup of chopped spinach. I just use this bag spinach and just chop that up. And then 2 ounces of some type of 2% shredded cheese. So I'm actually just using 2% mozzarella. And finally, you need a 9-ounce container of some type of ham. On her recipe, she has Hillshire Deli Select, so I'm just using these Hillshire Ultra Thin. I'm not sure if that's the same kind. And you need 12 slices of those, and then for whatever is left in there, we're just going to chop that up. And I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees, and I have sprayed my muffin tin with olive oil spray. So now I'm just going to set that aside. Get my bowl out, and then I'm going to combine the eggs. And the egg whites. And the milk. And the salt and pepper. And then just whisk those up. Alright, once that's combined, we are going to add the reserved ham, the ham that we chopped up, the spinach, and 1/2 of the cheese. And just mix that up. Set that aside, get our tins out. And like I said, I've already sprayed these with olive oil spray. Now we're going to take our slices of ham and just kind of set that in the bottom of the tray. So it's kind of covering the bottom, making a little cup. Once we get the ham pieces all in there, then we're just gonna spoon that egg mixture right into it. Alright, then we're gonna just spoon these. Spoon the egg right into it. And then at the end, you could just kind of even it out. Like this first one, I got a little bit too much in. So just kind of even them out. Alright, and then once that's done, then just put a little bit of cheese over the top of each one. Just the cheese that you have left. And these are 1 point each on blue and purple and 2 points on green. Okay, so these are going in the oven, 350 degrees for about 18 to 20 minutes. Okay, so while breakfast is baking, I'm going to move on to lunch, and for lunch I'm doing Sloppy Joe casserole. So for this recipe, I usually use the Ore-Ida hash browns with the onions and peppers, but I didn't have any of those, so I'm actually going to use shredded hash browns, and I have 6 cups of those, and then I have about a half a bag of the 3 pepper and onion blend. So I just mixed them together. I have my pan sprayed with olive oil spray. So we got the hash browns going. Now in another pan, I'm gonna put a pound of, I'm using a turkey breast, 1 pound of turkey breast. You can use extra lean ground beef. So for the way I'm making it with the turkey, it's gonna be 4 points for blue, 2 points for purple, and 6 points for green. If you want to use extra lean ground beef, then it's 6 points for blue, 4 points for purple, and 6 points for green. So just break that up. And then we're going to sprinkle it with about a teaspoon of garlic powder. Just because we really like garlic. And then about a half a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of pepper. You can cut down on the pepper if you want. You could cut down on the salt if you want. And mix that all up. This is really easy to make. Alright, I'm going to let that sit and cook. And the only thing we really have left to do is after this is cooked, I'm going to add manwich. So I have a can of manwich. I actually only need 3/4 of a cup. So I'm just going to open the can and then I will save the rest. 3/4 of a cup is about half of the can. So I'm just going to set that aside and I'll add it to the turkey once it's done. Okay, then set that aside. So now I'm just waiting for these potatoes to get done. I have here 1 can of corn that I've rinsed and drained. I'm just going to add that into the turkey mixture. Just mix that up. And there's no need to cook that. You don't have to heat that through. Aside. And then once the potatoes are done, we're just going to mix it all together. The only other thing is I do usually add 3/4 of a cup of Velveeta shreds. I usually just add like 1/8 of a cup to each dish at the end, but I'm actually all out of Velveeta shreds, so that's gonna save me a point because I'm not gonna be using those. So usually what I do is put 1/8 of a cup on each one, so that's completely up to you. All right, so this is just about done, and I think it's much better with the other potatoes, the O'Brien potatoes that are kind of like the diced potatoes, than it is with the shredded. The shredded kind of sticks together a little bit, but that's all right. I think the flavor will still be there. So now just mix everything together. Actually gonna turn my burner off now. Okay, I'm gonna set those aside because I want to get them off the heat. So I'm gonna let those cool and then we will put them in our dishes. In the meantime, let me show you, I just took the eggs out, so that is what they look like. They look so good. I'm gonna let those cool before, I'm trying to decide what I want to serve these with. I think I may do just some fruit on the side or something. I'm not really sure yet. So I'm gonna let the breakfast and lunch cool now and start with the dinner kits. Okay, so I'm moving on to dinners now. So like I said in the beginning, if you're new to my channel, I don't make the dinners, I just am pre-packaging them. Putting them into kits, measuring, weighing everything. I don't wash them, don't peel anything tonight, just putting everything in the kit. So the first one I'm gonna do is garlic Parmesan salmon with rice and broccoli. I'm actually doing rice with this one, and I'm just using jasmine rice. It's like the instant jasmine rice. So I have 1/2 cup of the rice in there. So I'm just putting that in my bag, and I have some broccoli. I'm just gonna throw that in there. I actually don't have very much broccoli left because I needed some for a different recipe. So I'm probably gonna put some Brussels sprouts. I have some frozen Brussels sprouts I may just add the night that we have this. So that's it for that. The next thing that I'm gonna do is put my salmon in there. So I have about 1 pound of salmon that my husband and I share. And actually this one is more than 1 pound. So I will be having some leftovers. What I will do is save some of it. We usually split 1 pound, almost 1 pound, but this is actually over 1 pound. So what I'll do is I may swap days with lunch. Tuesday I may have some extra salmon, some leftover salmon, and then I will have the lunch maybe Thursday. I'll extend that lunch. So just throw that in there. And the last thing I need is my topping, which I've already put together. And this topping, you have to excuse me because we have not been able to find paper towels since all this started. We have not gotten paper towels or toilet paper since this whole pandemic started. Luckily, we've had enough toilet paper, but we have run out of paper towels. So I'm using my apron and towels to dry our hands and everything. All right, so for the topping on this one, it's 1/8 of a cup of panko, 1/8 of a cup of regular seasoned breadcrumbs, 1/8 of a cup of Parmesan cheese, and 1/2 teaspoon of Italian seasoning. That's it. And I'll put that in there. And the other thing that I have is 1 tablespoon of light butter. I don't usually put the butter in there, but I think it'll be all right since I'm putting it in this container. And then the other thing is a tablespoon of minced garlic. So I think I'm gonna put like 3 cloves of garlic in there. And that's it. So I just have everything pre-measured, pre-weighed. Although this one, there really wasn't much weighing to do. And that's it for that one. So I'll put that one away and move on to the next one. Okay, the next one I'm going to do is mayo-mustard turkey tenderloin with zucchini and squash lime crema. And I forgot to mention on the other one, I do put the points that are in the entire kit on the bag. So for this one is 4 blue, 4 purple, and 5 green. For the salmon one with the rice was 4 blue and purple and 12 on green. And that is just because of the salmon being higher points on green. So for this one, all I'm doing is putting my squash and zucchini down in the bottom of the bag. And what I'll do is just roast this. And then for the lime crema, it's just 2 ounces of sour cream. I use light sour cream. And then about 1 teaspoon of lime juice, depending on how strong you want it. So I just drizzle that over the roasted zucchini and squash. So I'll put those in there. I have about 12 ounces of turkey tenderloin. I get this at Aldi. Put that in there. And finally, the mayo mustard topping is actually a topping that I got from Gordon Ramsay. He used it on a steak sandwich and it sounded really good. So I thought that would be good on the turkey. So all this is 3 tablespoons of light mayonnaise and 3 teaspoons of stone ground mustard. So I'm gonna put, and actually I think I cut it down and I was only using 2 tablespoons. So that way it was just gonna be a point each. All right, and that is it for that one. Okay, now I'm going to do garlic herb pork tenderloin with roasted potatoes, carrots, and gravy. This is 9 blue, 6 purple, and 12 green. You could definitely lower the points on this one by using less potatoes. I actually used 12 ounces of potatoes for the both of us, so we each get 6 ounces of potatoes each, just because we really like this one, and it just, everything kind of really goes together. So we have a little bit higher points. So I have my carrots and my potatoes. I have 12 ounces of each, and actually I was a little bit shy on the carrots as far as how much I had, but that's okay because those don't have points. So put those in the bottom. And then I have 10 ounces of pork tenderloin. I am also going to use, usually I get the Heinz pork gravy. It comes in a jar, and I just usually measure that out into a container, a half a cup. But I don't have any of that, so I'm going to use this brown gravy. It's the same points, and this will actually make a cup, so I just won't use it all. And then the last thing I need to do is put the topping for the pork. I didn't quite finish this one up. So this is actually half a tablespoon of olive oil, a tablespoon of stone ground mustard, and then I am going to grate some garlic. And I also have about 1/4 of an ounce of chives mixed in there too. So now I'm just going to grate some garlic in there. And just mix that up. And that's just going to go on the top of the pork tenderloin. And because I know I'm going to get asked, I will let you know where I get these containers. So these containers that are just these little ones, these ones actually are ones that I got when I used to do I think I did like Home Chef, Blue Apron, different dinner kits that I used to get delivered before I started doing my own. And then I also have these ones that are just little plastic ones with snap-on lids. These ones I get from Dollar Tree for $1. So these ones work really good too. Okay, so that's going in there, and I think that's it for that one. And then just salt and pepper, which we won't use that. And then I'm going to put a green onion. I don't have that on the recipe, but I do like to put green onion over the top of some things. And that's it for that one. Okay, and my final dinner kit tonight is going to be chicken marsala skillet. This one is one of the recipes that I actually got from Home Chef. And I have the link. I have their recipe on my website, planninushealthy.com, because I did change it so that it would lower the points in it. But their original recipe, this is a Home Chef recipe, their recipe is listed on there, so you can go check out their original recipe to see what I've changed. So for this one, it's 4 points on blue, 4 points on purple, and 9 points on green. You need about 6 ounces of mushrooms. I actually have 8 ounces. I'm going to just put the whole 8 ounces in there. And then I also have 3 ounces of Marsala wine. So if you don't like alcohol in your dishes, you can get the non-alcoholic. So you can get like Marsala cooking wine. I think they keep it down in the aisle like where the vinegar is, apple cider vinegar, things like that. So you can definitely use that instead. I also have 2 ounces of frozen peas. These won't be frozen much longer because I'll be putting them in my fridge. I also have ½ an ounce of flour. I have about 10 ounces of chicken breast. And again, this is for 2. This is for my husband and I. I have 1 shallot. I have 2 teaspoons of chicken base, and I left that out because a lot of people ask me what chicken base is. So this is chicken base. It is better than bouillon. You get it like where the bouillon cubes are. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Is it bouillon? I think it's bouillon. Let me know. Do your phonetics down in the bottom. Let me know if I'm saying that right. So this is the roasted chicken base. So that is what I use for that. And then let me just make sure I have everything. Oh, and then 6 ounces of broccoli florets, which I'm just gonna leave that in the bag. And 4 ounces of fat-free half and half. And I almost forgot, 2 garlic cloves goes in this as well. And then the other thing that you need is 2 tablespoons of water, but I'm not gonna put that in the bag. So this bag is really full. I'm not gonna be sealing this bag. Number one, because it's way too full to seal. And you'll notice the deformity on this bag. That is because when I first got these bags, I put it in the dishwasher, and you're not supposed to put these in the dishwasher. So these are reusable bags that I got from Amazon. You can write on them with a marker, and then it just washes off real easy with soap and water. But they tell you not to get the seal part hot. Like if you're washing the dishes, be careful when you put that in the hot water, and not to use it in the dishwasher. And I didn't listen, and I used it in the dishwasher and it didn't work. So that is how I do my dinners. All right, so now I'm gonna clean up some of this mess and get the breakfast and lunch portioned out. Okay, so what I've done is I took the lunch and I weighed it so that I would know how much will go in each container. So I have about 243 grams that I'm gonna put in each container. And I got some cucumbers out that I'm gonna put in each container as well. Okay, so get my scale evened out. So we're gonna have about 243 grams in each one. So that's a pretty good portion for each one. And the next thing I'm going to do is put my eggs in containers. I don't know why I got so many containers out. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to put these in the containers, and then I'm going to cut up my cantaloupe. I'm actually going to have cantaloupe with these. I have some cut up, but I don't think that's going to be quite enough for each container. I'll see. And then for the lunches, I have these mini cucumbers. I'm going to peel these and cut those and put them in there as well. You could actually leave the skins on. I can't eat those with the skins on. I have to have mine peeled, so I will be peeling mine. But if you prefer, you can leave the skins on. Okay, so that's it for the breakfast. So I'm just gonna cut up the last little bit of the cantaloupe, and I'll just put it in the fridge for the week. Now I'll get my cucumbers cut up. Do instead of wasting little plastic bags, I was going to put these in plastic bags, and then We use the light Olive Garden dressing. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and put the cucumber in there. I actually have 7 cucumbers, so I've got a little piece. And then that way it'll be easy for me to just remove the cucumber, heat up the Sloppy Joe casserole, and then I can just cut my cucumber after. We have plastic knives that we can use at work or here. So I think that's the easiest way. That way I don't have to use a plastic bag. Okay, and then the other things I have apples and oranges for snacks this week. We'll be doing popcorn for snacks, so nothing to prep there. Usually I bag up my cereal and put my milk in a container for later in the week, but I'm actually going to be home Thursday and Friday. I'm going to be off Thursday, well, not off. I'm going to be home working on Thursday and Friday, so I will be home to do my cereal those mornings, so I don't have to worry about packaging those up. So let me get everything together and show you what we ended up with. Alright everyone, so here's what we ended up with. So for snacks this week, I have the sugar-free puddings, 2 points. I have 2-point strawberry cheesecake Greek yogurt. I have oranges, I have apples, and with the apples I will use the PB2. You can have 2 tablespoons for 1 point. I was actually going to go ahead and measure out 2 tablespoons into each of these bags, but I decided to just put 4 days worth in one bag, and then I will just put them into, because I don't cut up the apples right now anyways, so I will just put the amount that I need in a little dish the day that I have it, cut up my apple and do it that way. Alright, so these are the breakfast. They look so good. So these are 1 point each on blue and purple, and then 2 points on green. And then, of course, my cantaloupe is 0, so my breakfast will be 2 points. That's going to be a 2-point breakfast for blue and purple and a 4-point breakfast for green. And then lunches, it doesn't really look very appealing. With the shredded hash browns, it kind of like all clumped together, but I'm telling you, this is so good. My husband and I love this. You can put a little bit of sauce on it of some kind if you want. Sometimes we put a little bit of taco sauce on the top, and that is really good on it. You could actually make a sloppy joe out of it. Get you some buns and put some, you know, make a sandwich out of it. That's totally up to you. So for this sloppy joe casserole, because I did it with the turkey, it's 4 points for blue and 2 points for purple and 6 points for green. And then my cucumbers are 0. So what I'm going to do with the breakfast, because I have the cantaloupe in there, I'm just going to take the egg cups out and put them, like wrap them in a paper towel to microwave them. I think they'll probably only take about 30 seconds in the microwave to heat them up. And that way I'll leave my cantaloupe in the container. And then for these ones, I will be microwaving these ones. So I left the cucumber whole. I'll just take the cucumber out while I warm up the sloppy joe casserole, and then I will be using the Olive Garden light Italian dressing to just drizzle over my cucumbers. And then for dinners this week, I have chicken marsala skillet. That's 4 points on blue and purple and 9 points on green. I have a garlic herb pork tenderloin with roasted potatoes, carrots, and gravy, and that is 9 points on blue, 6 points on purple, and 12 points on green. And again, that's for the whole kit. That's for everything that's in the kit. Then one night I'm having mayo-mustard turkey tenderloin with zucchini and squash lime crema. That is going to be 4 points on blue, 4 points on purple, and 5 points on green. And then one night, Monday night, we usually have salmon on Monday nights, garlic parmesan salmon with rice and broccoli. And that is going to be 4 points on blue, 4 points on purple, and 12 points on green. And again, the green just depends on the type of salmon you use. Again, these dinner kits are for 2. It's for my husband and I, so there's enough in there, enough servings in there for 2 servings. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Put any comments down below. Let me know how you're doing with your meal prepping. And always, your meal prepping does not have to be a lot like this. You could just do one thing. Start with just breakfast or just lunch, or even just do each day at a time. At night, track what you're going to have the next day and just prep for one day at a time. Start slow and build your way up. And if you're new to my channel, I hope you'll consider subscribing. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and click the notification bell so you're notified anytime I upload new content. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. I'm Christy and I am planning us healthy.